All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for taking time out of your Saturday morning to join us here to recognize Veterans Day. The members of the Town of Darien's Monuments and Ceremonies Commission and the members of Post 6933, Veterans of Foreign Wars, thank you for being here and taking time to remember and honor veterans. So I'm going to call on the VFW, please, to raise our flag right off the bat.
I didn't even know I got it until I spent it later. I have to read it in a while, so I'm getting it. I don't want to walk the boat.
Excellent. All right, thanks, sir. I'll call on VFW member Larry Hunter, please, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we thank you all again for being here. We welcome our elected officials for being here with us. First Selectman Monica McNally. Let's see. I see Tracy, State Representative Tracy Mara. I'm sorry if I'm not seeing any of the other representatives or senators here. Please raise your hand if you are here. Future representative. All right, excellent. So thank you all, and a special thank you to Linda O'Leary and Karen Dunn, our town's two executive secretaries, whose support and efforts make this ceremony, just like pretty much everything else in the town, run so smoothly. And we especially welcome our veterans. Do we have any World War II veterans among us? No? How about from the Korean War? You can just raise your hand. Anyone from the Korean War or Vietnam War? Excellent. Thank you. The Gulf War? Some of our younger folks. Afghanistan or Iraq? And all the other operations such as Grenada, Lebanon, Somalia, and Panama. Veterans from the Cold War, that's me. And JP, really young. We'll have to come up, remember what to have you raise your hand for. Thank you for being here, JP. So please, if you're standing near a veteran, please turn and say thank you. That's Veterans Day is an opportunity to thank people who serve. So thank you to everyone here that served. So now I will call upon Selectman McNally to read the Presidential Proclamation for Veterans Day.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Monuments and Ceremonies. Thank you, Joanne, for putting this on every year. It's truly an honor to be here. Before I read President Biden's proclamation, I just want to say on behalf of our residents how deeply grateful we are for the courage of all who have served, past and present, and for their families in defending our nation and our freedoms. Thank you. So this is a proclamation on Veterans Day 2023. This Veterans Day, we honor the generations of women and men who have served and sacrificed, not for a person, a place, or a president, but for an idea unlike any other, the idea of the United States of America. For nearly 250 years, our veterans have defended the values that make us strong, so that our nation could stand as a citadel for liberty, a beacon of freedom, and a wellspring of possibilities. Today, I am thinking of all of our nation's veterans who put their lives on the line to protect their democracy, values, and freedom around the world. We honor our wounded warriors, so many of whom the First Lady and I have met over the years, who are bound by a common sense of duty, courage, and optimism. And we remember those who are still missing in action or prisoners of war, and renew my pledge to bring them home. Our military families, caregivers, and survivors also answer the call to serve. Our veterans and their families give so much to our nation, and we owe them a debt we can never fully repay. As a nation, we have many obligations, but we have only one truly sacred obligation: to prepare and equip the brave men and women we send into harm's way, and to care for them and their loved ones when they return home. We are committed to ending veteran suicide and homelessness and ensuring that our veterans have the resources they need to live full lives and thrive in their communities. We have enhanced crisis care as well by addressing the economic, legal, and mental health issues that impact our veterans. The Department of Veteran Affairs is also funding community-led suicide prevention programs, which help connect veterans and their families to needed services. Every veteran deserves a roof over their head, which is why we have taken bold actions to end veteran homelessness and provide supportive services to help homeless and at-risk veterans and their families. As we mark the 50th anniversary of an all-volunteer force and the 75th anniversary of the full integration of women in the armed forces and the desegregation of the troops, we reaffirm our commitment to supporting everyone who served and who serves in our United Armed Forces. We have taken steps to ensure that the more than 918,000 women veterans enrolled in the Department of Veterans Affairs healthcare have equitable access to benefits and health services. We will continue to support our LGBTQI+ veterans and veterans of color who have made innumerable contributions to our nation and have truly made our military stronger, tougher, and more capable. This Veterans Day, may we honor the incredible faith that our veterans hold, not just in our country, but in all of us. They are the solid steel backbone of our nation, and we must endeavor to continue being worthy of their sacrifices by working toward a more perfect union and protecting the freedoms that they have fought to defend. In respect and recognition of the contributions of our veterans and their families, caregivers, and survivors that have made caused peace and freedom around the world, the Congress has provided that November 11th of each year shall be set aside as a legal holiday to honor our nation's veterans. Now, therefore, I, Joseph R. Biden Jr., President of the United States of America, do hereby proclaim November 11th, 2023 as Veterans Day. I encourage all Americans to recognize the valor, courage, and sacrifice of these patriots through appropriate ceremonies and private prayers, and by observing 2 minutes of silence for our nation's veterans. I also call upon federal, state, and local officials to display the flag of the United States of America and to participate in patriotic activities in your communities. Joseph R. Biden Jr. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much for reading that, Monica. It brings out in a lot of more details that we don't necessarily hear about, the kind of the wide variety, the cross-section of America that really serves our country. So it's I really enjoyed reading that and hearing you read it. Thank you so much. We have a history, and that it's been handed out to some of you. Were able to get a copy, I hope, the history of Armistice Day. And did we choose a couple of people to read?
Read it.
Yeah. More interesting than hearing me read everything. Thank you.
Today, we observe the 104th anniversary of the signing of the armistice, signed at Compiègne, France, for the cessation of fighting along the Western Front at 11 a.m., November 11th, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918. 1 year later, ceremonies were held in the United States, England, France, Belgium, and Australia, marking the first anniversary of the signing of the armistice. People pinned poppies or sprigs of rosemary, the herb of remembrance, on their lapels to mark the day. November 11th became known as Armistice Day in the U.S.
The World War, also called the Great War, was thought to be the war to end all wars. Had that idealistic hope been realized, November 11th might still be called Armistice Day today. But Representative Edwin K. Reese of Kansas, realizing peace had been equally preserved by veterans of World War II and Korea, proposed November 11th to be made an occasion to honor those who served America in all wars by renaming Armistice Day as Veterans Day. In 1954, President Eisenhower signed a bill proclaiming November 11th as Veterans Day.
Thank you so much.
So as you may note, our ceremony and parade that we have on Memorial Day at the end of May is to honor those that never made it home. But today, Veterans Day, we honor all those that have served, for service is more than fighting. So I found an example I thought was very interesting and also a little bit different about a veteran who's continuing to serve today. Her name is Carol Hulbert. She's a U.S. Navy veteran, the spouse of a veteran, a Navy mother, prior military child, and a proud USO volunteer. You may have heard of the USO. It's the United Servicemen's Organization, and they are in all different places around the world where service members pass through, and they have a small opportunity to feel a little bit at home. So Carol loves helping the USO in any way she can, from assisting service members during their layover in the center in Rota, Spain, to hosting and facilitating monthly bingo nights with the deployed Navy Construction Battalion, also known as Seabees, to hosting early mornings on Navy destroyers by serving up hot coffee and smiles to sailors as they came on board to start their day. When asked why she enjoys volunteering, Carol shared that to see a smile on their face or hear a thank you for just the smallest thing, it's just the best part of being there for them. I enjoy putting a little laughter in their day, especially when they are so far from family and friends. From a young age, Carol understood the sacrifice that our servicemen and women make. Her father served in World War II, and then she herself enlisted in the Navy. She was first stationed in Bermuda, which I know that doesn't sound terrible, and then she went to what's now NAS Oceana in Virginia. And that's where she met her husband Scott, and they continued their life of military service as she supported him as a proud military spouse for the next 15 years of his career. So her husband then was continuing to serve, and he accepted a job in the civilian sector, which brought them to Spain. And now she's the mother of a Navy sailor, so she really understands the realities of serving in today's military. When she sees service members come through on their way downrange, Carol has the intense yearning for them to be connected to their family, home, and country. The USO is an organization I'm so proud to volunteer for. All they do to support all of our military and their families is so important and is something that's very close to my heart. I remember when our Vietnam veterans came back home and the disgusting way they were treated. I've made many friends who served over there, and the USO always made them feel just a little bit prouder and knew that someone cared. So she never wants our military to feel unsupported ever again. She's volunteered almost 700 total hours, assisted with a grand opening, bingo, birthday celebrations, snack attacks, holiday ration drops, and a huge Marine water balloon fight. I don't know if you were there for that. That sounds pretty fun. So her favorite memory when she was in Spain was really the group of staff members, just people putting themselves out there to do so many wonderful things for our service members, and just very proud to be able to continue to support the military. So not a story of someone who was in battle, which I know is very, very important and very something that we're all extremely grateful for, people that did go into battle and serve our country. But I just wanted to read another example of a person that is also serving, and just thought it was very interesting. So the next time someone needs you, like Carol, like shipmates, like platoon mates, be there. You know, and as in the presidential proclamation it discussed, veteran suicide it's a very, very real problem. So I ask, in our small way, in our small town, if everyone can do what they can to take an extra minute, an extra breath, and stay and listen and just be there for people, veteran or not. So it is fitting that we not only commemorate the lives of those whose ultimate sacrifice made it possible for us to stand here today, but that we honor those who survived the fight and continue to serve. So we have some different items of ways of remembering, and we have symbolic tributes. So Nancy, if you can lead the people, the six, or I'm not sure who brought the six people. Our reader one with the red flowers, if you can.
Yep. Everybody's got a voice and a flower.
If you want to come up here, we'll start going through that.
Alrighty. Just before I read this, I want to take a moment to thank the Monuments and Ceremonies Committee for putting this together, and all the heroes behind me. Thank you for your service. The heroes in the crowd, thank you for your service. I was a Navy veteran. I am a Navy veteran. I served in the Navy. Now I serve in the town, but I feel very honored to be up here to read in front of you today. So with that, we offer red flowers as a symbol of their zeal in upholding the ideals of brotherhood and justice.
And if you have the items, if you want to just lay them by the stone that says veterans. Great.
We offer white flowers, symbolic of the purity of love if you have. The blue flowers symbolize fidelity and truth. We offer this to show them our respect.
Evergreen is a symbol of eternity. The deeds of land, sea, and in the air performed by the soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guard, and merchant marines are immortalized in the hearts of grateful people.
We place this sprig of rosemary, the herb of remembrance, to symbolize our commitment to always remember those who have served, and we do.
Symbolizing both the victory fought on the battlefield and the victory found in eternal life, the laurel is our final tribute.
Thank you all very much. Thank you for your help.
Do I do Flanders now?
No, not. Flanders Field.
In Flanders Fields the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks, still bravely singing, fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields.
May the road rise beneath you, may the wind be always at your back, may the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.
So our next item would be to observe a minute of silence. I'm waiting for 11:11, and as happens when you do something for the first time, you're nervous and you go really fast, so I'm afraid that's what I've done. So we're running a little early, but I do want to take this opportunity to thank my Monuments and Ceremonies Commission members that are here and that have helped so much to put this together. It certainly takes a great team, and luckily I have one, so thank you everyone for your help and gathering the items to place that help us remember. Just a small story of my own. I know many of you, but I served 5 years of active duty, and like the person I read the story about, Carol, my main duty station was in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, and everybody says, "Oh, boo-hoo, too bad for you." But I was a weather forecaster, and we did have to forecast weather for the entire Pacific. So I swear it was challenging. But I then now have had the opportunity over the past 20 plus years to serve in the reserves, still in meteorology and oceanography, and have had the opportunity to go many different places around the world supporting different exercises that the Navy does. A lot of my experience has been in helping other nations build their abilities and not necessarily selling them lots of hardware and equipment, although I do know we do that, but what's kind of near and dear to my heart is building relationships with people in other countries, and not only between the United States and these other countries, but have, as an example, people from Kenya and Tanzania and Mozambique have their Navy members build relationships so that when things happen at sea, then they're able to call upon each other. So I think that that's a really interesting and beneficial way that the U.S. military, in my experience, has definitely brought our ideas and ideals of America to different places around the world. So I wanted to then now take President Biden called for 2 minutes of silence. So let's now just remember and think about maybe one person in particular, or someone that you know, or people that are right now in harm's way somewhere in the world. Let's take 2 minutes to think about them and just really thank our veterans that are out there today and have served in the past. So now I'm going to play taps. I'm not going to. I'm going to hit play on